In this bulletin, over 800 cases recorded. COVID deaths increase. And ministry launches competition. Bulavinaka, Fiji recorded 873 new cases of COVID-19 and 3 deaths for the 24-hour period that ended at 8 a.m. yesterday. Of the 3 deaths, a 15-year-old is Fiji's youngest COVID death. This was a case that was previously under investigation, and it has now been classified as a COVID-19 death. The 15-year-old from Doloisuba was declared dead on arrival by the attending medical officer at the Rewanga Health Center. Dr. Fong says her family reported that she had been feeling unwell for 2 days. He says her symptoms included a cough, shortness of breath, and chest pain. Dr. Fong adds that she was not vaccinated, as she was not in the target population of people 18 years and over that are eligible to receive the vaccine. Fiji recorded 3 more deaths, COVID-19 deaths for Sunday. The first COVID-19 death is a 56-year-old woman from Vatuanga who died at home. Her family reported that she had been feeling unwell for 1 week. The second COVID-19 death is an 87-year-old woman from Nasinu. She presented to the Fimet Field Hospital in severe respiratory distress. Her condition worsened at the Fimet Field Hospital, and she died 2 days after admission. Her family reported that she was feeling unwell with cough and fever prior to her presentation. The third death was the 15-year-old. There have been 5 more deaths of COVID-19 positive patients. However, these deaths have been classified as non-COVID deaths by doctors. The 7-day average of new cases per day now stands at 696 cases, or 787 cases per million population. Permanent Secretary for Health Dr. James Fong says with daily increases in cases, they are also seeing increasing cases of severe COVID-19 and increasing deaths. He adds a total of 1,421 individuals were screened and 791 swabbed at the ministry's stationary screening clinics in the last 24 hours that ended at 8 a.m. yesterday. The ministry's mobile screening teams have screened 2,315 individuals and swabbed 339 in the last 24 hours. This brings a cumulative total to 696,631 individuals screened and 58,617 swabbed by our mobile teams to date. Meanwhile, the testing data will be updated in the next daily statement as testing data from the laboratories are still being recovered. The Ministry of Education has launched a home learning video competition aimed for primary and secondary school students. Education Minister Rosie Akbar says this is part of the ministry's ongoing efforts to make the home learning experience much more engaging for students. The competition is open to all students from year 1 to 13. While launching the competition, the Education Minister says students will be required to produce 90-second videos showing how they are continuing their educational journey during the pandemic. Akbar says videos do not have to be limited to formal home learning, such as working on the provided educational worksheets. Students can participate individually or with their siblings and are encouraged to express themselves in a form they feel best suits their ability: dance, drama, role play, poetry recital, mock interview concepts, show and tell, or any other form of creative expression.
I'd like to wish you the very best to all our children. Please continue staying home and listen to your parents and continue learning. To the parents, this is the time that you need to support your child in every possible way.
As a provider for young children, nothing means more than seeing children happy, safe and healthy. This was highlighted by the Minister for Education, Rosie Akbar, who is encouraging teachers, parents and guardians during this difficult time. Akbar says the sacrifices for parents are endless to ensure their children are provided the best. The Education Minister has also called on parents, guardians and teachers to get vaccinated for their safety, the safety of their loved ones and their children.
We must all now show our example to our young ones, an example of bravery, an example of courage, an example of responsibility, an example of resilience, and an example of solidarity. Please play your part as a patriotic warrior in this fight against a relentless enemy and get the jab. If not for your sake, then for the sake of our children.
And to our latest COVID-19 update. "873 new cases of COVID-19 have been reported yesterday. Fiji has recorded 11,315 cases since April of this year, with a total of 11,385 cases since the first case was reported in March 2020 last year. There are now 9,310 active cases in isolation, with 1,991 recoveries in total. The COVID-19 death toll now stands at 58. Up ahead, Team Fiji on focus. And Cricket Fiji continues with international plans. Stay with us. Welcome back. Leading sports, Team Fiji will be looking to stamp their mark at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics as the dates draw closer. While the team is currently in pre-camp in Oita City, Fiji Association of Sports and National Olympics Committee President Makarita Lenoa delivered a motivating message to the team last night. Lenoa reminded the athletes that they were there to serve a purpose, not as tourists, but to display their very best effort.
They are really just one body with different parts, playing different roles, but cohesively together and as one team.
Heading into the last few days of training, it's now all down to the mental fitness of the Fiji national men's sevens team. The defending gold medalist has a mammoth task ahead, but head coach Gareth Baber is confident in the players that have been selected. After an impressive Oceania Sevens, Baber says it will be hard to continue on this momentum, given that the level of competition at the Olympic Games will be much higher.
The physicality, intensity we brought to the games, pressure we brought around restart and kick-off time, the attitude we showed to outwork our opponents who are, trying to outwork us every single time. That attitude that, you've got to be right in the fight in every single second of the game is what we've coached the players to develop in the way that they address their performances.
Cricket Fiji will not let the COVID-19 pandemic hinder the national team's preparation for international tournaments. All Cricket Fiji sanctioned tournaments came to a halt 3 months ago, affecting the national team's preparations for the World Qualifiers later this year. Cricket Fiji Acting Chief Executive Sitiveni Rukoro says they are working around the clock to ensure that players are fit before the season starts in October.
At the moment, during this pandemic, we are not able to train our national training squad as well. But the coaches are working very hard in trying to identify the players and give them their training schedules to follow, to keep them fit and in preparation for the tournament.
Mainly fine weather with brief showers over the interior of the larger islands, Viti Levu, Vano Levu, Taveuni and Kandavo. Fine weather expected elsewhere. And that's FBC News Now. Join us for a 1-hour major bulletin at 7 p.m. And be sure to download the FBC app to access the latest in news, sports and live radio broadcasts from any of our 6 FBC radio stations. From the team and I, stay safe, be kind and good afternoon.